Well, Ghana and the rest of the world will mark this week for data protection and privacy. Now, the celebration is aimed at raising awareness about the importance of respecting privacy, safeguarding data, and enabling trust. In Ghana, the recognition of the right to privacy with respect to the processing of personal data or information led to the passage of Act 843 to further guarantee the right to privacy enshrined under Article 18, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution. Well, it's based on this, of course, that we have the 8 basic principles of data protection. We're talking of accountability, lawfulness of processing, specification of purpose, compatibility of further processing with purpose of collection, quality of information, openness, data security safeguards, and data subject participation. Well, to discuss Data Protection Week, assessing transparency and access in a digital age, the Executive Director of the Data Protection Agency, Patricia Edusei-Poku, as well as the CEO of Information Governance Solutions, Sylvia Appiah. We're grateful, ladies, that you could join us. Let me start with you, Patricia. I'm curious to know how challenging it has been delivering on all 8 principles of data protection under Act 843. How has it been under your leadership? Well, I'm afraid we'll try and fix the line with Patricia. But in the meantime, Sylvia, we do know that, your outfit is much more detailed when it comes to guiding companies, both private and public, along the lines of regulations that, frame the scope of which we operate under data protection. How has the journey been so far for you?
Thank you very much. I'd like to say happy World Data Protection Week to all listeners. But it has been challenging but worth the journey so far, purely because of the low level of awareness. But I am pleased to say, in conjunction with the Commission, with their efforts, we are beginning to take strides in terms of getting companies to sit up, take responsibility, and do what is right to bring in transparency and trust in processing employees or citizens' data. So we at IGS, what we have been doing is training practitioners. So what do you mean by training practitioners? Data protection as a career globally has a shortage of skills. And therefore, it is no news that Ghana, we don't have enough practitioners to get on the journey of assisting organizations and citizens on a compliance journey. This is where IGS come in. So we work with the organizations who are known as data controllers or processors and equip them, support them, hold their hand, advise them, nurture them into the road of compliance under Act 843.
Well, let's now talk about access to data in the digital space, so because I know that thankfully we do have, so many women driving the cause of data protection in our country, but it begs the question about the participation of, women in this particular regime. How has the framework been so far? Are there improvements?
Well, on a global level, a lot of high-level roles are predominantly men, and I hope we are changing the ecosystem, and a lot of women are in the field. Actually, there is Association of Privacy Practitioners or Professionals internationally did a survey, and it was quite close in terms of 45-55 men to men. So this is not a role that is predominantly women. And it begs me to say also that cybersecurity has a role to play in this. And it is a growing area. I, for one, am a cybersecurity expert as well. So it's not been challenging. It's the same journey we are trying, or the same battle we are trying to fight in terms of equality. But a lot of our women, because of our passionate level, we are very passionate about protecting people's privacy. That is why maybe you might see women taking lead on this. But it's open to both areas. It's very interesting for both gender species, if you like.
Well, indeed, Sylvia, hold on your thoughts there for us, because we do have Patricia join us, the Executive Director of the Data Protection Agency. Patricia, we're grateful that you could join us on this program. I'm quite curious to know how challenging it has been delivering on all 8 principles of data protection under Act 843 of the Constitution.
As with any new, thank you for your patience waiting for me.
Great.
And I apologize for the delay in joining. But as with any new legislation, such as that of the Data Protection Act, it's comes with challenges, teething problems, setting it up, because you have to actually establish an institution that would deliver the mandate. All of that took time, and also the fact that it's new to people, and it's cross-cutting across all sectors. So it's not a sector-specific legislation that people with the subject matter expertise would immediately understand. It's new, it's cross-cutting, it's impacting all walks of life. Everyone in the nation has a need to know. Every professional has a need to operate and to deliver an aspect of it. And so it's a lot happening at the same time. That in itself is a kind of challenge that we have to address. Plus, the fact that setting up the institution itself needs skilled personnel to be able to deliver the requirements of building the capacity, especially of institutions and those who have a decision to make, or those who have the legal obligation to deliver. All of that together makes it always a challenging subject to deliver. Not just in Africa, where it's totally new, but even abroad, even in the global north, it's challenging.
Indeed it is. But, as we celebrate Data Protection Week, Patricia, what remain the threats to data protection in Ghana? And how is your outfit actually dealing with it practically?
So the biggest threat is that there's a fast, the pace of technological advancement is very fast compared to the pace at which this legislation is being delivered. There are several factors in play. We need the highest executive buy-in. We need endorsement. We need proper leadership. We need the public level, asserting themselves in this act.
Great.
Enough to challenge the status quo, or to challenge institutions to deliver their reasonable expectation. And you would ask, do people even know what their reasonable expectation is? All of that is a burden on the shoulders of the Commission to deliver, and we need a lot of buy-in from the cross-sector leadership and the public policy level. We need the highest level of the nation backing the Commission to deliver its mandate. On our own, it is too much to shoulder on our own.
And I think that's where Sylvia comes on board. Sylvia, before we get back to Patricia about the Protection Week, Data Protection Week, and what we should expect, Sylvia, we do know that under your purview, there's so many security threats, cyber security threats, stricter data protection regulations. In fact, it is quite critical for businesses to ensure they process personal data transparently, be accountable and have adequate security measures to safeguard personally identifiable information. So how does the information governance solution come into this phrase, Sylvia?
Thank you. I think Madam Patricia hinted on it a bit about capacity building. And where we come in is we are an accredited institution by the Commission, and therefore our mandate or our role is to build the capacity in terms of the skills to be able to move data protection to a level where we can begin to say we are actually addressing the shortfall or addressing the need. We also train employees of organizations. So when we train these practitioners, we encourage them, or we make them ambassadors of data protection, so they can go out there, speak to their family, at the personal level, speak to their colleagues. And just like Madam Patricia said, one of the biggest challenge for assisting organizations to really implement a robust compliance framework, it's buy-in from the top. The decision makers, the policy makers at the top or in organizations need to understand their obligations and responsibility so that they can endorse any framework or program of activities that a practitioner in an organization can bring. And that is where we come.
All right. Sylvia Apia, we're grateful that you could join us, CEO of Info Governance Solutions. Let's end with Madame Patricia, Executive Director of the Data Protection Agency. Walk us through the highlights of programs the Data Protection Agency will be rolling out this week, especially when we're having the Data Protection Week commemorated.
Okay, the main highlight is that we are on Wednesday and Thursday going to be at the Accra Digital Center, where we are inviting data controllers, existing data controllers and new ones to come and engage with the Commission to learn about why there's a need to register, and when they register, then what are we doing, what's in it for them, why should they make decisions, accountable decisions, and this is really an engagement to open up the Commission to data controllers to interact with us, tell us what they feel that they expect of us, their challenges, and what the roadmap to compliance and our expectation. Great. It's in our effort to interact and to work with them and to ensure that we understand things from their perspective as well, and to deliver a mandate in a way that works in a win-win situation. Great.
We are grateful, Patricia.
And then on Friday, there's the Climax program on the premises of the Commission in East Legon for Paul Street, where the Honorable Minister of Communication will give a keynote address for the nation.
And we're looking forward to that. Madam Patricia Dusepoku, we're grateful that you could join us.